Welcome back to Hollywood Paradise. Today, we're diving into a story that stopped the internet cold, a moment so unexpected, so raw, and so deeply human that it forced millions of people to ask a question they weren't prepared to answer. What happens when a woman who spent decades being told exactly how to look, how to act, and how to exist in the spotlight finally decides she no longer cares what anyone thinks? Imagine building your entire life in front of a camera. Every expression studied, every outfit analyzed, every pound, every wrinkle, every smile, all of it dissected by strangers who feel entitled to an opinion. That was Victoria Abril's reality for nearly 4 decades. And then one day, something shifted. Victoria Abril isn't just a name in Spanish cinema, she is Spanish cinema. From her explosive early performances in the 1980s to her electrifying collaborations with director Pedro Almodovar, she built a career that most actors only dream about. She was dangerous on screen, magnetic, unforgettable, the kind of woman who walked into a room and rearranged the air. But what most people don't realize is that behind every iconic image was a woman quietly negotiating between who she truly was and who the industry needed her to be. For years, Victoria played by the rules, at least enough to keep working. She was bold but controlled, provocative but strategic. The industry rewarded her for it. Awards, leading roles, international recognition. But fame has a strange way of slowly tightening its grip until the person inside the image can barely breathe. But here's where the story gets interesting. At a certain point in her life, Victoria stopped negotiating. She stopped performing the version of herself that photographers wanted to capture and started simply living. And when a woman like Victoria Abril stops performing for the world and starts living for herself, people notice. Sometimes they celebrate it. Sometimes they don't know what to do with it. And sometimes, the reaction tells you far more about the audience than it does about the woman herself. The moment that triggered this wave of attention wasn't manufactured. It wasn't a PR strategy or a calculated comeback. It was something far more powerful. It was authenticity in a world completely addicted to filters. And the internet, which usually rewards perfection, found itself completely disarmed. What you need to understand about Victoria is that she never belonged to the generation of celebrities who grew up performing for social media. She came from an era where your craft was your currency, where vulnerability lived on stage, not in your Instagram stories. So when this moment surfaced and spread across platforms, the reaction was divided in a way that revealed something uncomfortable about how society treats women who age on their own terms. Some people cheered loudly because they saw themselves in her. The refusal to shrink, the confidence that doesn't ask for permission, the quiet revolution of a woman who has survived the industry's cruelty and still stands tall, still occupies space, still demands to be seen completely. The surprising part is how deeply that resonated with women especially, many of whom wrote that seeing Victoria simply be herself made them feel something they hadn't felt in years: permission. Others reacted with discomfort. And that discomfort is worth examining. Because when a woman over 50 refuses to disappear, refuses to become invisible the way society quietly expects, it challenges something deep. It forces a conversation about beauty standards, about aging, about whose body belongs to whom, and about why we're so unsettled when women stop performing youth for our comfort. Victoria Abril has never been interested in your comfort. That's always been her power. The lesson here isn't really about one viral moment or one photograph or one headline. The lesson is about what it costs to spend a lifetime meeting other people's expectations and what it feels like to finally stop paying that price. Fame is a strange currency. It buys visibility, but often steals identity. The celebrities who survive it longest are the ones who eventually find their way back to themselves, even when that journey is messy, even when the audience isn't ready, even when the headlines miss the point entirely. Victoria Abril showed the world something that day. Not what the clickbait title suggested. She showed us what freedom actually looks like when it lives in a real human being, unpolished, unfiltered, and completely unafraid. And honestly, that's the most powerful thing any celebrity has ever put on display. If this story made you think, share it with someone who needs to hear it. We'll see you next time on Hollywood Paradise.